This was the third time she'd heard the small tap that night. She'd had enough and decided to watch the surveillance tape. Another tap was heard. She frantically searched for the porch camera. She went to wake up her spouse because of what she witnessed. Fear had overwhelmed her. Kelly was a regular 26-year-old. She was blissfully married to Brad Shoemaker, the joy of her life, and had recently completed graduate school. When their son Jeremy was born, everything changed. They couldn't live in their flat because it wasn't big enough for a baby. This was a difficult adjustment for the young couple. The couple thought that moving to the countryside was the best option because the houses in the city were both pricey and too small. They were completely unaware of what they were getting themselves into. The family was fortunate to discover a lovely home away from the city's buzz and bustle. Before we start, can we get this video to 1,000 likes? Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. When they moved, Jeremy was 2 years old and fell in love with the house right away. The property was surrounded by large, lovely trees that were home to a large number of squirrels. Jeremy adored their adorable neighbors. At the dinner table, Kelly told her husband, "A scurry of squirrels can attract a predator, Brad." She was concerned for Jeremy's safety because he spent hours outside chasing squirrels. Brad tried to reassure her that she didn't have to be concerned. However, after hearing a loud noise one night, he began to change his tune. The Shoemakers first heard the noise on a dreary Sunday evening. Brad snatched up his cricket bat and went off to investigate. Kelly stepped alongside him, her son's bat in her hand. The sight of Brad opening the sliding door sent shivers down their spines. They discovered a wounded squirrel with wounds on her legs. Kelly rushed to assist the helpless creature. The small animal was washed and her wound was closed. Their kid wrapped a cozy blanket around the animal. Even though the noise had stopped, Kelly couldn't ignore the feeling that something was amiss. Lily was returned to the wild after a year with the family. It was a challenging period for the family as they got connected to their new member. The disappearance of Lily created a hole in the house. Regardless, the tapping noises on their front door returned quickly. Kelly and Brad ran to the door in the hopes of seeing Lily, but all they saw was darkness. For a month, the taps persisted. For a year, the taps occurred every night. Kelly had completed her PhD, Brad had received a raise at work, and Jeremy was set to begin his 5th grade. For the Shoemakers, a lot had changed, but one thing stayed the same. The taps came back every night like clockwork for nearly a decade. Brad became irritated with the situation and decided to put cameras in his garden. He even put a couple in the driveway. Kelly stared at the cameras for the bulk of her weekend. What she saw stopped her in her tracks. Kelly dashed upstairs, hoping to rouse her husband. She rushed into Jeremy's room as well, waking up the 10-year-old. "It's 2 in the morning, Kelly," Brad bemoaned as he trailed her and Jeremy. "What is it?" Kelly remained silent. She dragged them both into Brad's study, wide-eyed, pointing at the porch camera. Brad exclaimed. He zoomed in on what he was seeing by focusing on the video feed. As Brad wrapped himself about them, Kelly stretched out and hugged Jeremy. The porch was being tapped by a squirrel. "Lily?" Kelly nodded in response to Jeremy's question. The squirrel had matured, and its fur had become more detailed. When the squirrel did something unexpected, the family was about to rush to let Lily in. Lily climbed the rafter and vanished. Jeremy almost yelled, "Change cameras." Brad changed the computer's display at one of the house's cameras. "There," Jeremy said, pointing to Lily on the roof. She climbed through a gap between tiles. "Attic?" They all dashed upstairs after Kelly's suggestion. Their jaws dropped when they saw what they did. Lily was fast asleep in her old cuddler. She peacefully fed 3 kittens lying between her legs. Kelly burst into tears of joy. "This is amazing," she exclaimed. Brad and Jeremy remained silent. They clutched each other while watching Kelly reach out to them. Jeremy stole Lily's old blanket and returned a minute later. "We are a family again, Mom," he smiled. The Shoemakers got Lily a new cuddler that was big enough for her kids, Jossie, Alen, and Cliff. Brad also cleaned up the attic to make it more animal-friendly. Each night when they heard a knock on their door, they realized it was Lily. She had spent the entire time in their attic. Kelly found it incredible to see the baby. She had raised her children. But Lily didn't stop there. The way Lily kept returning to her rescuers grabbed the internet by storm and altered people's minds towards squirrels. The shoemaker's tale went viral and touched the hearts of millions of people all around the world. People even come to the shoemaker's house to meet Lily now that she has a significant online following. While it's easy to dismiss squirrels as bushy-tailed rats, Lily has demonstrated that they are intelligent creatures capable of love, compassion, and loyalty. In fact, Lily behaves more like a domesticated animal than a wild animal, and she expresses her gratitude for the assistance she received from two humans. She has a message for the entire globe.